Hi guys, welcome back to Reserved Investments on YouTube. So we're going to go back to an earlier topic I did on this channel, and I said it would be a series of videos on this particular segment. We're going to talk about antiques and collectibles as a valid alternative asset class. So what we're going to talk about today is understanding the difference between collecting something and investing in it, okay? This is very vital to understanding how people who operate on the top tier of the antiques and collectibles trade view their holdings and the items that they are passionate about versus someone who just comes in as either a collector or a speculator, okay? I did an excellent video on this channel on speculation versus investing. That is probably one of the most important videos I've done in the last several weeks. If you have not watched that video, I would urge you to go back and view it. You don't have to watch that video before this one, but I just want to give some groundwork as to why we're going in that direction to the point where we have to talk about collecting versus investing. First, let's look at what collecting is, okay? All is what collecting is an innate desire that is usually hardwired in the brain of humans to collect and allocate scarce resources, okay? Collecting started at the beginning of time, okay? You and I, our great ancestors who were cavemen, were hunters and gatherers, okay? That's what they did. They pretty much had to accumulate and also allocate scarce resources that they came by in the wild, whether that be certain stones, food, water, any resource that they could use had to be allocated because it was scarce, okay? So we are hardwired as humans to, how do I want to say this, gravitate towards scarce resources, okay? It's almost a necessity of our survival, okay? That is still hardwired in. That's why also, gentlemen, there's more male collectors than there are female collectors. Females tend to gravitate towards relationships, companionship, things on that spectrum, okay? Men gravitate towards success, attracting wealth, collecting scarce resources, stuff of that nature, okay? There's a differences between the sexes there, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just inherently innate in how our brains are hardwired, okay? So now that we have that down pat, okay, you have to understand how somebody who just has a passion and wants to put together a collection of video games or comic books or coins or currency, in order to do that, there doesn't have to be much thought in regards to analyzing the market, understand investing trends, and buying items that they know are going to possibly appreciate in value over time, okay? If you want to collect something, you can go to your local Walmart and start collecting Hot Wheels toys or cars for less than $1 a car. Okay, it's that simple. Right now, Lego's hot. You know, I talk about a Lego a lot. Okay, there's people that are trying to get every single minifigure in the Lego Star Wars line. I have no idea why you would attempt such a stupid feat, in my opinion. Okay, because they just keep making updated versions and they keep selling to speculators who think that because one Lego minifigure only appeared in 1 or 2 sets, it's technically quote-unquote rare, which is not the case, okay? But that's the mantra that they base their business model off of, okay? And that's fine. It seems to be working well for Lego. Doesn't seem to be working well for some of the speculators out there, though, who are starting to lose money in the secondary market. Okay, there's going to be more videos coming on Lego, guys. Just want to put that out there. I only did one video on Lego thus far, just so that you guys have a keen awareness of what's going on in that market and how to analyze it properly. I think there's a lot of people that are going to get hurt over the long term, and you can even see it. Just, I know this is a side topic on this channel, but you can kind of see it with all the closeouts that have been happening at Walmart, Target. Okay, again, I said this before. I don't consider a set like this iconic. Okay. This is a flash in the pan, okay? If you're able to buy this at $20 or $25 and flip it for $40 or $60, congratulations, you're engaged in retail arbitrage. you're not investing in antiques or collectibles. I'm sorry to say. That said, let's talk about collecting a little bit, okay? As I said before, collecting requires, at the basic premise, no understanding of the market. It requires no need to even have any knowledge of the value or perceived value of the items you're collecting the next day, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line. There's plenty of people that are happy, completely happy, just collecting out of passion. They very rarely engage in speculation, and they have no desire to become an investor. If that's you, that's fine, but just be cognizant of how much money you are pouring into those collectibles, okay? I often have people come to me and they go, wow, Sean, I see some of the items you have in your collection, and you have coins that sell for, thousands of dollars. You have pieces of currency. How did you get all this? And the simple answer is, honestly, I never really was one of those people that went out and started collecting comic books and started spending $1 every day or so on a comic book, okay? It just wasn't my thing, okay? I always had a mind towards trading up or buying things that I know would appreciate in value, or I could flip and get money back and then put that money into either other investments that would pay me interest and dividends, or other investments in the collectibles trade that I knew would rise in value. So I was not one of these people that wanted a shelf full of Funko Pops, or Beanie Babies, or Pogs, or even what I consider now, a lot of people are pouring money into factory seal video games from the modern era, and they think this stuff is going to have value in the future. I'm sorry, guys, I don't see a copy of Resident Evil 2 for the PlayStation 4 being factory sealed having value in 5 to 10 years, because everybody is doing that right now, okay? It's just like the Nintendo Switch. I know people that are going out and they're buying 3 copies of Super Mario Odyssey, one to play, one to keep sealed, and one to speculate on. Going forward, that's not going to be a valid business model in the greater vintage and modern era video game trade anymore. It's already starting to die off, okay? There's too many games being released and hoarded en masse in factory seal condition, okay? Here's one such example. This is a VGA 95 of Super Mario All-Stars, the original Wii edition. It's the limited edition cardboard box one that came out in 2010, okay? When this came out, everybody hoarded these, okay? Getting one in VGA 95, if you want to give me $300 for this, I'll gladly take your money. Honestly, I was buying these at closeout at Toys R Us for about 20 bucks a game, and I had cases of this stuff, okay? A 95 is one grade lower than the highest you can get in the VGA grading universe, which would be 100, okay? Forgetting the plus grades, okay, which don't mean much. But that said, it's really not a great investment if you put your money into something like this, okay? And believe me, it pains me to say that because I probably will eventually sell this on eBay, okay? But it's just, the gains are not there anymore, okay? Everybody is doing it. Everybody. It's just like Lego sets. Everybody is collecting factory seal Lego sets, okay? Don't kid yourself thinking there's one that's going to be slipped by, that's going to be rare, released after 2015. It's not going to happen. If you want a simple strategy, Google investing in Lego and you'll see how many articles you get online. It's insane, okay? So let's talk a little bit more about this, okay? An investor, on the other hand, okay? I've said this before and you'll hear me say this again. Most people who invest, I'm talking who are the sophisticated investors, who are going after an Action Comics 1 in CGC 9.0, who are going after coins that sell for high 5-figure, low 6-figure, maybe every now and then a 7-figure coin they'll be going after, okay? The people like that, most cases, made their money in another business, either through Wall Street, either through real estate investing, where they understand economics and finance, okay? And now they're coming in to collect items that they have a passion for, but that they also know are going to accelerate or maintain value on the secondary market, okay? One of the mistakes, and I continue to repeat this, that beginning collectors and speculators make and even some of the so-called unsophisticated investors, is they automatically enter a collecting field, okay? They look at the high end of the market, okay? So let me give you a prime example here. Let's say that you want to collect graded video games, and you look at the sticker-sealed copy of Super Mario Brothers that sold for $100,000, and you go, see that? Video games are a good investment. One sold for $100,000, okay? You cannot compare the high end of the market and think that that correlates to what's happening at the lower end and the mid-range of the market. So you may say, well, Sean, I want to spend $13,000 on a video game. That's fine. Knock yourself out if that's what you want to do. Do I think it's a good investment? I would have to know what you're buying, what price you're paying, whether you're getting it graded or not, and what your time frame is to let you know whether or not that's a good investment. That said, you cannot compare that $13,000 item to a $100,000 Holy Grail and think those markets run in parallel. They do not, okay? The person buying a CGC graded copy of X-Men, Giant Size X-Men 1 in 9.4 condition is not anywhere near in the same market as somebody buying an Action Comics 1 in even 7.0 condition, okay? They are nowhere near parallel, okay? Those books do not even cross paths, okay? It's that much of a difference. So I get it. Some of you guys tell me, Sean, when I'm spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on a certain item, I don't need you to tell me that it's not high end. It's high end to me. But you have to look at the greater trade, okay? It's just like if you want to go out and you want to buy like a, I'll use this as an example for all you Magic the Gathering collectors, okay? Let's say you want to buy a lightly played Mox Emerald, okay, from Alpha or Beta, okay? And you want to buy a raw copy because you just want to have it, you know, you're eventually going to get it graded, but you know it's authentic, you know what you're doing, and you go out and buy it, okay? You cannot compare the price and sale of that item to somebody who is going out buying a Black Lotus Alpha Edition in BGS 9.5 quad. Those markets are not comparable. You're in a completely different realm. The person on the top 1 to 3% of the market, okay, is investing in a whole different class of category than what you're in, okay? That needs to be understood. That's why one of the questions I get asked, and you guys will like this. This is a great question I always get asked. Sean, you know, I've been collecting coins for 15 years, and I have 50 coins all in the $1,000 to $2,000 range. Do you think it would be best if I took that collection and bought one rare coin, okay, that's a well-known rarity, where I could just do away with the other coins in my collection and only own that one piece? And I often say to them, it depends. I would need to know what coins you have that you're going to sell, how much you paid for them, what price appreciation, if there is any in that time, for those holdings. And we would also have to look at what the coin that you're looking to buy has done on the market in the last, 10 to 20 years, so that we have some type of price history where we can judge maybe where it's going to go in the future, okay? One good thing, guys, right now about the coin and currency market, okay, it's not in a speculative bubble, okay? That's what a lot of you guys who put in the comments and are like, oh, well, I'm really not into coins. It's fine. Don't collect coins then, okay? I would never tell you to buy, collect, speculate, or invest in something you don't like, okay? I did a whole video on coin collecting where I tell you guys, if you start reading books on coins and you sit there and you go, oh, God, this is boring, it's not for you. Don't go any further, because the worst mistake you can make in that market is getting into a market you hate just because somebody like me said, hey, over the long term, the coin market has a lot of potential, okay? Don't invest in markets like that, okay? Even sophisticated investors, once they get to that level, okay, they do not buy in to markets that they do not have a passion or liking for, okay? This isn't like stocks, bonds, and real estate, guys, okay? You can buy the ugly house in the corner, fix it up, and you can rent it out, and you can live with yourself doing that, okay? If you spend, though, $150,000 on a collection of something, you really have to put a lot of thought, effort, and research into liking those items, okay? Let alone just buying them, okay? You really have to have a love for the items that you accumulate, okay, or acquire, Okay? If that passion's not there, please, you do not want to make a mistake like that in the antiques and collectibles marketplace. Okay? What I tell collectors always, you can see this in my other videos, okay? You need to disattach yourself from emotional attachment to be a better investor and or collector, okay? However, you still have to have some passion to go after some of these items, okay? I would never tell you to collect something you don't love, okay? Let me word it that way, all right? Even if you have the money to do so, because it most likely will not pay off at the end, okay? The problem I have with speculators is they only look at short-term gains, and they always forget about their losses. And when you confront them about that, this is what they say. Well, I really enjoy doing what I love. Well, then that's fine, but don't call it an investment, okay? You know, if you're out there and you're buying 10 factory-sealed video games, and 5 of them go up in value and you're able to sell them, that's fine. But don't forget about the other 5 that you couldn't sell, okay? Or that went down in value. Or that you sold at just a loss to break even, okay? You have to put it all in perspective. It makes a lot of difference, guys, okay? That's my problem with speculators. They focus on that one fantasy item that they bought for $20 or $40 and sold for $200 to $300, and everything else that they took a loss on no longer matters. It doesn't work that way, okay? You have to track your gains and your losses in the greater antiques and collectibles trade, and you have to learn from those mistakes, okay? You can't carry around anger and bitterness because you couldn't make it in a certain market, and another market where you think you really did good without analyzing the numbers. How do you know you did good? I'm talking to guys, and I get it. Some of these guys, if you're doing a low volume, I mean, legally, you should be paying taxes on your gains, okay? Legally, okay? I get that, though. Some people start a business very small. They don't keep track, or they're not very good at bookkeeping, all right? But you have to keep track because you have to understand and learn from the mistakes. That's the difference between a speculator and an investor. There's knowledge, there's hard data behind investing in something. When you speculate in something, it basically comes from just an idea or a hunch, okay? There's no hard data behind it. Go back and watch the video I did on speculation versus investing in the greater antiques and collectibles trade, okay? I put all that out there, okay? That said, another thing that investors understand is that there's different segments of the same market, all right? If you tell me you want to collect comic books, well, okay. Do you want to collect CGC graded comic books? Are you going after superhero books? Are you collecting CGC graded comic books in like 9.2 condition or higher? I mean, what are you going after? What's the end goal here, okay? You have to understand. Somebody that's collecting like a CGC 9.4 Incredible Hulk 181 is in a completely different market than somebody that's looking to buy an Iron Man 1 from 1968 raw in 5.0 or 6.0 condition. They are not the same markets, okay? The person going after the Hulk 181 CGC graded 9.4, which for those of you unaware, it's the first full appearance of the Wolverine, very popular comic book, okay, is in a different market. He's going to face stiffer competition going after that item, okay, because it's third-party graded, okay? That item, that comic book shows up on Heritage, Comic Link, Hakes. The grade's visible if it's CGC graded. If it's a CGC 9.4, you can pretty much bid on it blind. You know what you're going to get. Now, do I recommend that? No. In another video, I'll go into premium quality comic books that are better centered, what makes a better comic book investment, when we look more detailed into the graded comic book marketplace, because that does come into play, much like coins and currency, okay? That stuff does come into play. That said, though, if you're going to buy a raw comic book, you are in a very different market than someone buying a CGC graded comic book. And in today's market, if you are buying raw comic books, you better know what you're doing, okay? Because most people I know that had raw comic books now have them all graded if they were in the condition that they thought they were, if you know what I mean, okay? There's a lot of people that are selling a, come here, I got a near mint Hulk 181 here, and I didn't want to pay the expense to send it to CGC, but my loss is your gain. Just give me $5,000 for it, and you can take it and get your 9.4, okay? That's a fool's game, guys. unless if you are a hardcore comic book dealer that has been around comic books for the last 10, 20, 30 years and knows how to grade and assess condition, okay, then you can make money doing that, okay? That's very important to understand, okay? A lot of sophisticated investors want to learn all about the markets that they're invested in, okay? Let me put it to you this way, all right? If you want to get into real estate investing, let me use this as a parallel example. If you want to get into real estate investing, all right, and you've never owned a home before, all right, you are at a major disadvantage from somebody who understands home ownership, who understands what's involved of owning a home and already went through the process to buy a home, okay? Your first step, all right, don't invest in real estate from an apartment paying somebody else rent. Your first step is going to be to get your own home, okay? After you get your own home, you can start investing in real estate, assuming you have the money, you understand the risks, okay? This video is not going to go into those risks, and you understand the market that you're in. That's the main difference between somebody who is a sophisticated investor and somebody who's sitting at the sidelines going, you know what? I still live with my parents, I'm 40 whatever, and I'm sitting here thinking about buying $100,000 worth of coins, rare coins, okay? It doesn't work that way, okay? You have to be situated in your life to get to that level, okay? That's why I often criticize some of the people on YouTube. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You don't have your life in order yet. You can't go from step A to D and skip B and C in between. It's going to end in disaster for you, okay? You have to get your proverbial crap, I'll say it that way, in order before you can get to that level, okay? Then you can push towards that level, all right? I usually recommend, okay, and again, I am educated in finance. I am not your financial advisor, okay? I'm saying this, you know, just to give you my opinion, okay? I'm not licensed or anything like that anymore, okay? That said, if you're going to get into any type of collectible or real estate investing, I often tell people, you better already be almost out of debt, okay? You can have a mortgage, you know, that's fine. School loans should be almost paid off. Very little credit card debt, if any. Car payment, very minimal, if any at all, because you should be paying cash for cars if you're getting to that level, okay? Then you can get into investing in collectibles, real estate, cryptocurrency, which I do not recommend. I'll do another video on that. Gold, don't recommend. Silver, don't recommend, okay? Another video, guys, on that, okay? Then you can start getting into other things once the building blocks of your life are taken in order. I'm going to give you a hint, okay? I'm going to just tell you some of my experiences, all right? Those of you, I'm single, okay? I go on a lot of dates, okay? One thing I can tell you, and I hear women tell me this all the time, I want a guy that has his crap together, okay? If you're living at home or in an apartment and you're contemplating investing in collectibles, okay, it's gonna end in disaster, okay? I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm telling you, though, to only spend a limited amount. You cannot put all your money or all your proverbial eggs in one asset class, okay? There's a video I did in my YouTube channel here, forget which one it is, where I divulge how much I have invested in antiques and collectibles, a percentage of my net worth, okay? It's not high. Matter of fact, when I presented that, I think I wrote an article on Antiques and Auction News about that. And one of the feedback I got, I expected it to be a lot higher. You have to understand, you have to practice balance on this, okay? That's what sophisticated investors do, okay? Let me tell you this. If you're going to invest $1 million in an Action Comics 1 comic book, okay, the person that's buying that probably has a net worth, okay? I'm going to just tell you this, well over $50 million. Most likely, it's well over $100 million, okay? And in some cases, a person like that will have a net worth in the billions, okay? That's why I always laugh when I go on CGC Comics, the forum, the chat boards, and I hear, well, if I had an Action Comics 1, I would crack it out of the case, and it would be a prize collectible that I would read. And I sit there and I want to so reply, you're a dumbass. That's exactly why you will never own an Action Comics 1 in CGC 9.0, because you don't deserve to. It's that simple, okay? That's what you have to understand. You have to start looking at this. If you want to make money in it, okay? I don't care if you're a speculator watching my channel. I don't care if you're a collector who goes, look at that guy. You know, it's up to you. Wherever you want to be on the timeline continuum here, okay? If you want to be a sophisticated investor, you have to look at this through the eyes of somebody educated in finance and economics. Those are the keys, okay? Right there. Doesn't mean I am not telling you you have to go to college, okay? That is entirely a decision that you alone can make. Or if you did go to college, that's something, the benefit that you either got or did not get as a result of that education, okay? I will never tell you you have to go to college. There's plenty of successful people that mentored me in the antiques collectibles business, real estate investing, even finance that don't have a college degree. Never went to college, but they can analyze stocks better than any guy with an MBA I know. Okay? Happens all the time, guys. Okay? So learn those fundamentals. If this is the market and the proverbial playground you want to eventually get into, or you want to stay into, or you want to get further into, okay? I'm going to tell you something about the antiques and collectibles trade. Much like the stock market, much like real estate investing, fortunes are won and lost daily, okay? There's a lot of people that come in this trade, they'll buy something for like $25,000, and then they'll immediately call someone like me up and go, okay, it's been 3 months, can I flip it for a profit yet? And I'm looking at them like, no, it doesn't work that way. And they're like, well, I need money, I have to liquidate this. Don't tie up all your cash in items that you are unable to sell for a profit, okay? I don't care whether it's stocks, bonds, real estate, collectibles, cryptocurrency, gold, silver. Insert your favorite commodity here, okay? Don't do it, guys, all right? Stay smart. You always need to have cash on hand for when, if there's a downturn in the economy, if something happens, if you get presented with a buying opportunity, okay? You know, I've already gotten calls where, dude, I'm getting divorced. I need somebody to buy these CGC graded comic books for me. And the dude is literally fire sailing them off because he's trying to spite his ex because he knows he has to give her half. I have walked into deals like that, and I even try to stay very ethically focused and tell the person, I think you should consign these to an auction site. I can help you. And a lot of times the person won't even listen to me because if his ex cheated on him, I hate to say this, he wants to screw her in the process, so he's willing to sell a $1,000 comic book for $500 and just hand her $250 and be done with it, okay? Learn from these mistakes, okay? Who you get involved with in your life is going to say a lot about you, okay? I'm going to leave you with one thought here now that we're 30 minutes into this video, okay? I made a lot of mistakes in some of the women I was involved with relationships with, okay? I really made some stupid mistakes, okay? Those mistakes luckily didn't lead to marriage, so I didn't have to give up any assets, okay? But it took a lot of energy and time out of my life, out of my businesses, even my persona, okay? If that makes sense to you guys. The way that I even interpret those relationships was changed because of the relationship itself, okay? Be very careful in life who you allow to get in with you, meaning in your inner circle, okay? Whether that's friends, acquaintances, girlfriends, boyfriends, if you're a woman that happens to be watching this video, who you marry, okay? The only thing you cannot change is who your blood relatives are, okay? Everything else you can change. Be very careful who you let in, okay? But at the same time, you also have to learn to trust and also learn to love. You have to open your heart. Okay? That is something that I struggled with sometimes, okay? But just trust me, okay? So this video kind of took a weird turn. It went through kind of investing, collecting, and also lessons in life. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, consider liking, subscribing, and or leaving a comment. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great night. I got to go fix my wonderful hair.